It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
I wonder what Bill O'Reilly feels about what the heck is going on in the European community threatening Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, and Elon Musk saying this conversation in about 2 hours from now shouldn't take place. And we have the great mega nonfiction best-selling author, also host of Common Sense with Bill O'Reilly every weeknight here on WABC Radio at 9 o'clock. Bill, can you believe this? The European Union sends a letter saying don't let Trump do disinformation tonight, trying to clamp him down on X, formerly Twitter. Can you believe this?
Well, yeah, I can believe it. I want to see the letter. Do you have it?
Yes, we have a copy of it. I'll try to get it to you right now.
Yeah, we'll try to get it to you right away. Right. They're saying, that he shouldn't be allowed on. It's disinformation. And that...
Who's they, though? Is this the president of the EU out of Brussels? Is this what's going on?
It's coming from the EU. I don't know if it's signed by the president, but it's signed by... Yeah, we'll get it to you right away. We'll get it to you.
Bill O'Reilly stands for facts.
He does. That's why we love Bill.
I'll take a look at it overnight, and I'll have it tomorrow, Tuesday, on Common Sense on WABC. I want to see exactly what the wording is and what they're doing. But isn't it ironic that finally Europe has a victory, and a big one, at the Olympics? And Macron and his crew did an excellent job putting that thing on.
They did.
You'll remember, Paris is a fairly soft terror target. And the soccer game intrusion that I wrote about in Killing the Killers, and they're loaded with jihadists in Paris and the outskirts. And they put that thing on without any disruption at all. They knocked down the two, one on the train, one on the Eiffel Tower, quickly, and it came off great. And so that's a huge victory for France in particular and Europe, that they were able to do this in a way that impressed the whole world. And even further than that, as an American, I was obviously rooting for the American team, but I was ready for stupid stuff. I'm always ready for stupid stuff. That's my whole life, dealing with stupid stuff. That'll be on my tombstone. It's going to read, he finally stopped dealing with stupid stuff.
We'll remember that, Bill. We'll remember that.
So I was ready for some of these athletes, particularly on the men's basketball team and the women's basketball teams, to do dopey, anti-American stuff. Gestures or
kneeling, right?
Yeah, right. That's what we're used to. The Megan Rapinoe stuff. I hate my country, but give me all the money you can possibly give me. That's the philosophy. Okay, but it never happened. In fact, the opposite happened. That the NBA men's players picked up the American flag. Guys of color, they were proud of their country, and I was proud of them. And then when we win. By far, the best athletes on earth live in the United States, and we do it fairly, unlike China, where China, if you're an athlete, that's all you do. You have no other life, okay? Around the calendar, you're jumping on the gymnastic thing or you're in the pool. Here, these people actually have lives, that they have families, not in China. All right, so the system here is you compete and you win. So at the end, when I was watching it yesterday, and they were all there, the whole crew, all around the world, and you could see the joy in their faces. You could see it. And I was so proud of my country, the United States, but also the world, that you saw these younger people celebrating this once-in-a-lifetime experience for many of them, competing, all right, in a fair way. And I mean, I've been around and I've been to 86 countries. And this was a highlight of my life to see that yesterday in the Olympics.
What did you make, Bill, of the boxing, though? How about the Algerian boxer?
Rita, I don't know. Okay? I would not. I got to choose my words carefully here. This woman looks like she has a birth defect of some kind. That's what it looks like. Now, further than that, one body says she can't compete because of the birth defect, and the other Olympic crew says she can. What am I going to do as a journalist? I don't know. I wouldn't box her. I'd give her a lot of money not to hit me.
The other question is, what's her DNA say? Is she a female or a male? Because they said she has a birth defect, that she has both sets of
chromosomes. Right, chromosomes.
Right, from what I understand. But, John, I'm not qualified on this. All right? The closest I got to a medical situation was having dinner with Ken Langone. I mean, that's it. I don't know anything.
Hey, Bill, this is Pete King. If I can just get back to the security issue, I just want to double down on everything you said. A good friend of mine was doing security for a major corporation over there, an American corporation, and she was telling me it was just phenomenal. The coordination between the French, the police, the military, and all of the other. It was total cooperation with all the world security people, and it was led by the French. Great job by them.
It was. And when you compare that to what happened to Trump just a month ago,
yeah,
okay, and you're saying, hey, no excuse. There is no excuse for what happened to Trump. None. And I don't want to see blame. I want to see people replaced. But I think that in this summer, I just wrote a little column beyond BillO'Reilly.com tomorrow morning, the summer of no love. Remember the summer of love, 1968? Well, some of you weren't around, but this is the summer of no love. Everybody hates everybody in the political realm. And so it was such a relief to see that. And, Macron, I'm not down on him. I don't think he's a bad leader. France, not particularly one of my favorite countries.
I agree with you on that, Bill.
But let's be fair here. I think WABC, and from what I've been now, 4 years, Katz, you've had me on? I think it's 4.
Is it 4 of a 30-year contract or what?
Yeah, Katz Matisse will come to my house if I don't renew, and I don't want that. So WABC listeners are fair people. The mail I get and everything and stuff like that, they seem to be, it's not like some of these talk radio stations, which are really like, hate. Not getting that from the WABC crew. They're inquisitive, have strong opinions, they're New Yorkers, obviously, but they're kind of fair. And I think that the fair assessment is that we're in the United States, one of the most hateful times ever. But that Olympic thing was a sense of relief. And I want to tell everybody that Confronting the Presidents, my book will be out September 10th, which is going to put a lot of this political stuff in context.
By the way,
a lot of what we're doing now.
Bill, the other thing that came out, what was the threat that the police commissioner of the UK put out?
Well, this England thing is very interesting. I don't know whether you guys know this, but I lived there for a year. And England has not evolved like the United States. When I was there in 69, 70, it's the same place. It hasn't evolved at all. And what they're worried about in England is the so-called far right, the people who hate the migrants, which is why they left Brexit. The Brexit thing was all about migration. It wasn't about economics. And now that terrible stabbing by an African, he's not convicted yet, but he did it. And these young girls who were stabbed. Now every right-wing kook in the world, all right, from Aberdeen, Scotland, down to Penzance, is coming out and threatening violence. So those people got their handful over there. And remember, most of the police agencies in England don't carry firearms.
We got our hands full in New York City.
Think about that for a moment. So you have a rebellion, you have violence breaking out in the streets generated by these people who hate the migrants, and you got cops with no guns.
But do you know what's interesting, Bill? The thing with the UK commissioner, they're also saying that they want to go after even Americans for making comments online. I mean, that's how far they're stretching it.
Yeah, look, they've always been that way over there. BillO'Reilly.com is worldwide now. We're aced out of a lot of European countries. They won't allow us to broadcast. We get around that by YouTube, interestingly enough. We're getting around it.
You get around to it by WABC.
Yeah, I mean, look, in Iceland, I think that, we're huge over there. But the intrusion that's saying to an American citizen and who owns a company, Elon Musk, that you can't interview a presidential candidate, that's absurd and ridiculous, which is why I'm going to have to take a hard look at it, because I'm going to put it on somebody's
We sent you a copy of the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on from somebody's front step tomorrow. Name and face.
Yeah, it's shocking. It just feels so, and it comes, Bill, at a time where, we've seen a lot of the sort of lawfare against Trump. So it comes at a time where Harry's finally doing something, back on Twitter. And obviously, look, the American public deserves to hear from him, and then they can make their own informed decision how they want to vote in November. But to say you can't hear from him, it feels un-American, Bill.
Well, it's on everything, not just on American. I mean, it's unfreedom. If people value freedom, and, a lot of people, Rita, I'm seeing in this election, they don't really care about their personal freedom too much. I mean, you want California Kamala as president, you're going to cede a lot of your personal freedom. And if you don't understand that, maybe you don't deserve to have freedom.
Wow, that's a powerful comment. I'm telling you, Bill, and also this Walz guy, the more I hear about Tim Walz, I'm reading something here, marched with Abolish ICE protesters. I know you guys got to go. One more comment. If I were an undocumented migrant who is transitioning, I would move to Minnesota. That says everything about Tim Walz. Yeah, that says everything. That says everything. Bill, thank you so much. We'll be definitely tuning in tonight to Common Sense with Bill O'Reilly at 9:00. Thanks so much, Bill. Really important discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much.